Hi, my name is Gabriel Vilas. I am the Chief Learning Officer of Earth Science Tech. In today's video, we'll be going over what is a cannabinoid? What does it mean? Why is it important? Well, the first thing I like to say is cannabinoid comes from cannabis, which is from the marijuana or hemp plant. Our company uses hemp plant as far as it goes to get the active value of CBD or cannabinoids. So, cannabinoids or cannabidiol, to able to truly understand it, you have to actually break down the wording. So, canna means cannabis, and that's from the origins of the plant. So, canna, it means cannabis, which is the origin of the plant. Bi means two, and usually when bi, that means two, has a binding to the last word. For cannabinoid, it's noid. Noid stands for this compound is an alkaloid. So the substance from cannabis has a 2 bond with an alkaloid. Unlike cannabidiol, which is a cannabinoid, cannabidiol, you have canna, which comes from the plant cannabis. It has bi, which means two, it has a bond of 2 to a diol. A diol is a hydroxyl group, which is mostly bind with other hydrogen or oxygen. So that's actually quite the opposite, because when you have a diol, it means it's mostly acidic in nature, where a noid is alkaloid, which means it's mostly base in nature when it comes to the pH scale. And this is very important to know because there's different types of cannabinoids. Cannabinoids, here we got a table, boom. Cannabinoids are listed, and this chart that's here is brought to you by Leafy. The cannabinoid is very much universal. You have CBC, CBC, A, CBGA, you have CBN, as well as CBDA, and there's other cannabinoids as well, such as THC. Now, it can get confusing and tongue twisting when you actually start pronouncing the CBC, CBG, CBGA, but we always remember it by the categories that they help. In this chart, you will see that mostly things that do not have an A affect the things in the neural side of things, the nervous system. And that's because of its alkaloid nature, the noid in cannabinoid, because that means it can pass through the blood-brain barrier as well as be able to transfer deeper into the tissues. Unlike CBDA and CBCA, they can actually help with pain and sleep, such as gastrointestinal problems, as you can see here. Now, when you have an A at the end, like CBDA, CBCA, that A stands for acid. That means the end of that compound has an acid to it. Now, as you can see from this chart, CBD is never alone. It's important for CBD to have other cannabinoids to actually help utilize the effectiveness of it. Because without it, the liver kind of has problems breaking it down and processing, because it is a diol, so that means the compound, the molecule structure is, the molecular structure of it is too big for it to absorb within the liver. Here's a chart that I made personally to help you understand. See, when cannabidiol goes into the liver, it breaks down. And the body, which is the liver, will add a nitric oxide to make it into more of an alkaloid, or add a hydroxyl group to make it more into an acid. From there, if it adds a nitric oxide, it can make CBN, CBC, CBG, etc. When it makes a hydroxyl group, which is more acidic in nature, it'll make into CBDA, CBCA, CBGA, etc. Now, each one is very important, because you get people who take isolates that usually only get the CBD content. So they're not getting the full of the cannabinoid base. And you need that because you understand that if you're getting an isolate, you're getting mostly the hydroxyl groups, the more acidicness. So when you look in the compounds, like for such as the alkaloid groups, like CBN, CBC, and CBG, you're getting things that help with the nervous system, the cellulars in your body, as well as the brain, the eye, immune system, and it mostly has the antibacterial effects. But on the acidic side, it helps with the digestive system, like the large and small intestines, the stomach, the liver, the kidneys, such like that. And it will help with deeper muscles, like removing lactic acid and reducing glucose in the blood. And it also has the antifungal benefits as well that will help. Like such studies are being conducted now to see CBDA helping with cancer as far as retroviruses, because it helps with that retrovirus of the cancer side that acts like a fungal. But yet we've seen also studies with CBC, which has the more alkaloid side helping with cancer as well, because it helps with the retrovirus, the bacteria side. So it's really quite exciting to be now in our period of time, because so much studies, so much things are being conducted. And I hope you like the little chart I made here. I made it very simple. It goes into more details. There's a lot more that goes into that process, like introduce what fatty solubles, vitamins, minerals. A lot of things do come to actually conform cannabidiols, especially enzyme production. So it's important to take things like a whole plant extract or a full spectrum extract, where you're getting all the valuable cannabinoids as well as the enzymes, because when cannabidiol breaks down, it can make itself into these other cannabinoids, which actually does help absorption of CBN and CBC and CBG, and actually help the effectiveness and also help the absorption of that where it needs to go in the body. Your body doesn't really use CBD as much. It just uses it to break down to make other cannabinoids as a base. So it works similar to how omega-3 is, and as well as hormones, for those who know how those processes. So it's actually quite phenomenal to take cannabidiol and cannabinoids as a full spectrum, because you're going to get the overall benefit. It's not really the minor benefits for it. Pretty much that's it. Well, I hope you have a great day. Good morning, good evening, and good night, and enjoy your day. Bye bye.